Hey y'all, welcome to Burgundy Blue Commentary. I wanted to talk about thanks for being here, you guys. I wanted to talk about John and Kate plus eight, right? You guys, y'all know how I feel about my reality shows, but I got a problem with TLC. Sorry guys, hold on one sec. I got a problem with TLC a little bit. Like we always hear these stories at TLC. Oh, hold on, guys. My mic went out. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me just go close the door. Wind coming in here. Sorry, you guys. It's getting hot. It's getting cold. Okay. So we always hear these accusations with TLC. It's very irritating now to me. Like, remember if you guys remember John and Kate plus eight, can you put a one in the chat so I know I'm not alone because I'm old school, right? But this family ended up becoming a mess. And remember, I remember Kate Gosselin. Now, that was years ago. Now, I remember Kate Gosselin being a little overbearing over John. And John, out of the eight children, a lot of the children decided to go live with their dad instead of with their mom. And this, you guys, I'm wondering what happened to Octo Mom. This just made me think about that. But anyway, but TLC today, Collin Gosselin, sorry, he came out with yesterday about how he was treated. He's like breaking his silence about how he was treated. And I have something to say about that because it's not the first kid from John and K plus eight. And let me tell you, it's growing pains. We know that it probably was a difficult time. It was a lot going on, but this isn't the first kid to say, look, my mama was something else, child. My mama was something else. Hey, Rajan and Milo. So I just want to do this quick live video to go over what Collin Gosling is saying and where have we seen this before? You guys, I'm so tired of it because it's like TLC does not protect their people. I'm just gonna say, I got my favorite shows on TLC, like Sister Wives, and is it My 600-Pound Life? I still watch that on TLC, but I've even started to see how they treat the subjects on My 600-Pound Life, and I'm like, whoa, now I don't know how I feel about it. But let's just go over some families. This remind me of, remember the Roloffs? And we had Jacob, the youngest son of Amy, and what was their dad name? Amy and Matt. Amy and Matt. Their youngest son, he went to his family and said, "Hey, allegedly this producer that is in our house, taping everything, they touched me. And they've been doing it for years." And I'm trying to frame the M word, right? And Amy and Matt just kept on doing the show like that didn't even matter. I would have canceled the show. It's not that serious. Like, your baby is saying that he has been touched and he refused to film. Now, if you watch Little People Big World now, what is it, like season, dang, the kids are growing, might be like season 20. But if you watch them now, the family is divided and the only people left to carry it on, because Matt and Amy divorced, is Zach. Zach and Tori are carrying it on because Jacob up here with his wife with the red hair, he refuses to go. Molly is over here with the black jean jacket. She refuses to go. Jeremy, who's the twin and Audrey over here, the twin to Zach, they refuse to film. But Matt and Amy just seemed to be kind of greedy and continued on the filming. Y'all let me know your thoughts. And then, like, even when Zach tried to buy the farm from his dad was being greedy, just being greedy. And it's really interesting that it all started with Jacob saying, "Look, I'm getting touched by this producer of TLC, and know what? My family won't listen to." And he left and never came back. Okay, let's go to another. Remember the Duggar family, the Duggar family? What was they like? 18, 19 kids and counting. It was 17 kids and counting, 18 kids and counting. Then they found out that the eldest child, Josh, he was touching on everybody in the family, and all kind of stuff was going on, and TLC was just making all this money allegedly off of them. So that's why it's kind of, we ain't even gonna get to toddlers and tiaras, y'all. I'm a pause there because I don't want to mess with y'all with that. I want to mess with your head. So but today let's talk about, and it's like they just made money off these families that would have all these thousands of kids, and the husband, it'll be looking like oh, we're just so saved and we're just praying to the Lord, and the whole time the eldest of the family was touching on the little sisters. So let's get to John and Kate plus 8. If you guys are here, let me know. Hey, Cynthia, let me know if you heard of this story. I thought this was interesting because we've been here before. But Kate was getting, baby, remember when Kate got that, she didn't have that side bob no more? And she started to get ruthless, child, when she got that makeover. Oh, we're not even gonna talk about Honey Boo Boo. Remember how Mama June and got caught up in the scandal and all that stuff? Child. Whew, TLC, you got to do better. So I mean, no, you can't control everything that people do, but you can't be holding on to these people and they're doing this to their family. So Collin Gosselin claims mom Kate zip tied him and locked him in a containment room while detailing alleged abuse. You know, I'm not anyone that, I wish I would have had a couple of more children. So I would have had like a big family. But some people are not equipped to have children back to back, like 8 and 9 and 12 kids. They're not equipped for that, like emotionally. And Kate, I think, is one of those people. And that's my opinion on that. So Collin Gosselin claims he had a rough childhood and a new interview with the Sun. We're gonna go over that interview too. This is People we're reading right now. On September 10th, the John and Kate plus 8 alum, who's now 20, brought forth new allegations in the interview, claiming he was abused by his mother, Kate Gosselin, starting when he was 8 or 9 years old. He alleged that he was confined and isolated from his other 7 siblings by Kate, and that he was a scapegoat for his mother's problems and often took the brunt of things. Wow. What number was he? If anybody knows, what number was he in the kids? He wasn't one of the twins. Let's see. People have reached out to Kate and her attorney, Richard Puello, for comment, but has not received a response. Puello told the Sun that he didn't believe that Kate had did anything to intentionally harm her son, and that she did what she did to protect herself and her family from what he called troubled behavior. My mother, wow, you guys, this trigger warning, this may be emotional for some people. This a sensitive subject matter, okay? So this is Collin words. He says, "My mother had a room built in our unfinished section of the storage basement," he alleged to the outlet. "She had a room put up with cameras in it, a tiny window in the corner, and it was bolt locked from the outside. It was like a containment room, literally. And it had a mattress on the floor, and that's how I lived." So he was one of the sextuplets. Okay. So the twins were Kara and Maddie, and he was one of the sextuplets. Oh my God. Collin claimed he would be contained in a room for most of the day. Eventually, he said he stopped going to school and never went outside, adding, "I never played with my siblings. I was kept there. It was literally containment." My mother, at many, many times, and most of the time, became physically aggressive, verbally very abusive with the things she would say, Collin alleged, claiming that their relationship was very emotionally abusive and he didn't know any better as a child. When my mother would put me in that room multiple times, she had zip tied my hands and feet together and bolt locked the door, turned the lights off, and had cameras there just for watching me. Mm. Okay, thanks. Raging says, well, let's finish that. Thanks for that, Raging. I didn't know. Because I'm asking, what did he have to gain from sharing this story? According to medical reports obtained by The Sun, Collin reported Kate's alleged abuse to his counselor. His father, John Gosselin, with whom Kate also shares children, Kara, Madeline, Alexis, Aiden, Leah, Joel, and Hannah, told the outlet he wasn't aware of Collin's alleged treatment until he obtained custody of Hannah. So when did John and Kate? That's what I was wondering. When did they separate? Because that's what I'm trying to see. How did he not know? It's almost like you guys. You remember? Did anybody see that Lifetime movie, which is a true story? Girl in the Basement, and the dad told the mom the girl ran away and she was in the basement the whole time having babies by the dad. It was sick. And to this day, I do not believe that mother was not did not know her baby was in that basement. I just don't believe it. When John and Kate finalized their divorce in 2009, Kate was awarded custody of their children. In 2016, she sent Collin to the Fairmount Behavioral Health System Institution in Philly for what she previously claimed to be unpredictable and violent behavior when he was 12 years old. Per the records, Collin was diagnosed with unspecified bipolar disorder and related disorders, autism spectrum disorder, attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, and PTSD. All conditions he believed were falsely diagnosed. Oh, wow. It got to the point where word was getting out and child services were being called, Collin told The Sun, of Kate's alleged abuse. In her desperate attempt to protect herself, she placed me in this institution with no notice. I was one day just up and gone. Pennsylvania Department of Human Services Office of Children, Youth, and Families Press Secretary Brandon told people that they could not confirm or deny the allegations due to confidentiality. Okay. During his 22-month stay, Collin recalled writing letters to his father in crayon. Oh, God, you guys. Begging him to be his savior and rescue him from the facility. Collin claimed that he received no formal education while getting treatment at Fairmont and spent his days doing just a lot of nothing: sleep, wake up, eat meals. While a rep for the Fairmont Behavioral Health System told people they cannot comment on specific patients or their care due to HIPAA patient privacy laws, they shared the following statement. At Fairmont Behavioral Health System, our staff strives to deliver a patient-centered and personalized treatment experience for each individual who comes to us. The youth/adolescent patient experience includes group therapy, family therapy. I bet you none of them came to that. Allied therapy and educational services. They made it like, okay, it says a rep for John Gosselin did not immediately return people's requests. So this is him with his military uniform. In 2018, he left the program at 14, and John was awarded custody of both him and his sister Hannah. Both went to graduate high school, and in June of 2023, Collin opened up about his dreams of becoming a U.S. Marine. He eventually went on to enlist and began training camp before he was discharged in August of 2023. So this is my thing, you guys. So it's a disruption between the sisters. I'm with Raging. Raging said it was a little. Let's get to the comments because you guys have been following it a little more. I think okay. I think a lot about these family shows and even the family YouTube channels. It should be serious, serious, serious laws when people are able to raise money off their kids. Period. John and Kate included. Anybody that have these huge. Remember that family? Let's see if I can find it. Remember that family that act like they were adopting this baby? Then all of a sudden the baby disappeared and they had made all this sponsorship and money off of adopting this baby, and they had gave the baby back like they returned the baby like it was a pair of gym shoes. It was crazy. Let's get into this, you guys. Sorry, I wasn't trying to ignore you. Hello, everybody. Raging, Cynthia. Who else is in here? Hey, Gardis, enjoy. Oh, Flowers in the Attic, my favorite book, actually. Garther Flex. Hello, everybody. Hello, thanks for being here. Where's the Octomom kids? I swear, that's something we need to know. So let me read some of your comments. This is interesting. Johnny, so see, okay, this is my thing. I watch some of those family channels for a little bit, and they be like, today my baby just became a woman and got her first cycle, and this stuff lands forever. Like the Ace family and how they were doing their kids. Those kids are not gonna be babies forever. That stuff is gonna live forever. All that stuff that you're showing, it's gonna be around, right? And these people have to grow into it. And let me tell you, it's creepers out there that watch children too, and they have these weird thoughts with your kids, and you are putting them out there. It should be laws to protect family channels. A lot of more serious laws, like if you're making $50,000 a month on YouTube with a family channel, 50% of that should go to your kids automatically. If you're on TLC, it's almost like we call it the person that started the Gary Coleman law. That's what we call it. Like when Gary Coleman parents stole all his money and that made the child actors, it's a law where the money go right into a percentage go into their account for when they're over 18. And I think the same should be for YouTube channels as well, like people that want to put their kids out there for content. Now they said he was really bad. I'm with Ranger. They said he was really bad. And I think it was like he was a challenging child, but I'm just gonna be real. 8 children, it's always gonna be somebody to act out. Nobody's gonna, I mean, a set of how much nutrients did Kate have in her belly for all 6? Good Lord. Was it she had the sextuplets, right? And then she do in vitro, right? And she got all those kids. It's interesting to me. Let's go over to the son and go to this video. I feel the same about you guys know Sister Wives is my jam. Cody and his children, like May Garrison, rest in peace. These children had to grow up in the public eye, watch their mother struggle. Now we watched Janelle struggle from the outside looking in. It's no telling what kind of struggles they had to do as a polygamous family and running from state to state to not get arrested, and what people thought about them and what the public thought about their mothers. Some people are just too sensitive. Not saying that's Garrison's story, but some people are just too sensitive to live that way. You know what I mean? It's the social media can be you can have a bad day and see a bad comment, and it could ruin your day, and some people will go over the edge over that. So imagine being a child and not having those emotions, having a life experience to check those emotions. That's what I want to say. I think Miss H, I think she was a handful too. Let's go to the son and let's listen to him. Now I am side eyeing. If you're telling me that now he's coming out with a show with his dad, side eye, that doesn't make it his story untrue. just now I'm side-eyeing it because he could be pushed to do a lot of things if he's this vulnerable and he wants the points and the accolades from his dad. You know, not to say Kate wasn't doing it, just saying I'm side-eyeing. Let's go to it, guys. Oop, got to play a little commercial.
Move faster than the market so you don't miss out on your dream home.
Gotta do all the commercials, y'all. Let me let's make this right. Okay. All right. And he could have went to People. The son is like, shout out to the son, no disrespect, but you know, the son is sort of gossipy a little bit. I go to the Sun, but
multiple times she had zip tied my hands and feet together. You know, my mom became physically aggressive. Multiple times she had zip tied my hands and feet together. You know, my mom always told me nobody would believe me. I was fully isolated from everybody. I had no friends, nobody. I was 100% treated differently. I remember saying that I'm not trying to trick you, because I remember thinking that nobody believed me as a kid. Yeah, that's heavy.
Opening up about his childhood for the first time, John and Kate Plus 8 star Collin Gosselin has made several shocking allegations against his mother, claiming she isolated him from his 7 siblings, locked him in a basement, and physically and emotionally abused him in an exclusive interview with the U.S. Sun. While millions of viewers tuned in to follow the lives of John and Kate Gosselin, their twins, and their sextuplets, making it one of TLC's highest-rated TV shows of the 2000s, brave Collin has now revealed that off-screen there was a horrifically dark side to life in the Gosselin family.
It was rough. It was rough. I definitely went through it a lot as a kid from my mother's end. So it was tough. My mother at many times, and most of the time, became physically aggressive, verbally very abusive with the things she would say. And obviously that carries over to, you know, the emotional side of things where, you know, a young child doesn't know any better.
The one that has the most bumps and bruises is definitely Collin. He falls like 56 times an hour, but he's not tough. He gets upset.
A very emotionally abusive relationship. And when my mother would put me in that room, multiple times she had zip tied my hands and feet together and bolt.
y'all, he looks so sad. Look how all the other kids are standing together. He's off to the side. Huh.
Locked the door, turned the lights off, and had cameras there just watching me. In that room that my mother had built, oftentimes she had zip tied my hands and feet together and kept me locked in there for most or all of the day for multiple days. And that doesn't just make you feel helpless, but it was the fact that I had nobody in my life then. I didn't have my siblings. I didn't have teachers at school. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have friends. You know, I wasn't allowed to visit my father. I had nobody to go to, not one person to talk to. I had no relationship with anybody. I was fully isolated from everybody. I had no friends, nobody. As I'm older now, and I can kind of look back and see videos or pictures of myself younger, it definitely is, it's a crazy experience, because, you know, I look at,
man, I know this got to be triggering to see. That's what I mean, like those laws. It has to be something for kids. Like, he has to see this the rest of his life.
my younger self, and it upsets me. You know, I don't.
Y'all, okay, Raging, from what you see, do you think they're putting 20 on 10? Why is he always separate from the others? This sort of bothers me.
I don't even like to look at pictures of myself, because it just reminds me of, you know, those kinds of things. And it also makes you realize, like, you know, that's not okay, what happened. And you realize that no kid should have to go through it. That's not okay at all. It got to the point where I was, where, you know, word was getting out and child services were being called. Me being at home in the house, there was just too many ways that my mother could have been exploited.
Things took another catastrophic turn for Collin when, age 11, his mother had him sent to Fairmount Behavioral Health, a mental health facility in Pennsylvania, after having him diagnosed with multiple mental health and behavioral issues, including autism, ADHD, and bipolar disorder, conditions that recent medical reports show he does not have. Terrified, young Collin was to spend the next 22 months of his life at the institution.
In her desperate attempt to protect herself, she placed me in this institution with there was no notice. One day it was like up and gone. You know, it was a very, very quick and just, you know, one day I was sent away from home and placed there, and I was scared.
Young Collin, desperate and alone, managed to send a secret letter to his dad begging him to take him out of the facility. For the first time since he penned the letter in crayon 8 years ago, Collin emotionally read it aloud to the U.S. Sun.
There was a lot of nothing. I didn't know where I was. I'd always been alone. At least it was a place away from home, but it was still very scary. So for 22 months, I didn't step foot in one classroom. I didn't do one worksheet, nothing. Excuse me. This letter was dated in...
Man, this is heartbreaking. I don't know what to think, because I don't see him sitting up here lying about his situation. Reality check. Hey, thanks for being here. I hope you're having a great vacation. I don't see him lying. I don't see him lying about... Let's continue, child. This is horrible.
In June of 2017, dear Dad, I'm not trying to trick you, but I still love you. I told Mom I want to live with you, and she said no. But right, she can't choose for me, and I'm old enough now. I'm your son, not hers. She was abusive to me after I left your house, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Take this to court. Excuse me. And I said, Dad, you're my savior. Please help me.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it one more time, because, see, this is the problem sometimes. Like, you know, sometimes we have to mature in life, and this is the problem. Like, if she couldn't handle the baby, why didn't she go to John? Was John just not equipped, you guys? That we'd have to review some of the K+8 episodes where John just not equipped, or she didn't want John to have the kids. Bless this family, y'all.
I'm counting on you to get me out of here. I remember saying that I'm not trying to trick you, because I remember thinking that nobody believed me as a kid. You know, my mom always told me nobody would believe me. I was that desperate that I had to explain to him that this wasn't a trick, and I hadn't seen him for so long because I wasn't allowed to visit him, and I did want to live with him. Looking back at it, I'm really glad I did this. It was tough. I was scared to write it because I hadn't seen my dad in years, and I didn't really know what he would think. Like, is this real? Like, you know, why is he trying to reach out to me? Like, I mean, I'm sure he knew why I'd been trying to reach out to him, but you know, I was scared to write this. It was a leap of faith that I had to take, and looking back, I'm really glad I did that for my younger self. Integrating back into like society with like, you know, kids in my age group, it was tough. It was like towards the end of middle school, and you know, I remember finding some academic work a little difficult, and I didn't really know how to talk to my peers.
Resilient Collin defied all odds, graduated from high school, and embarked on his lifelong dream to join the military.
I didn't really know that it was the Marines when I was younger, but I always knew that I had that patriotism in me, and I wanted to serve my country, and you know, I always knew it was there. And I remember like signing that contract and going off to training and stepping foot, you know, on Parris Island. I just remember like on the yellow footprints, I remember like as a kid, I never really knew what that dream was, but when I got there, it just all clicked, and I was like, yep, this is what the dream was. And that brotherhood and that camaraderie and the leadership and just how, you know, my drill instructors and all the Marines on Parris Island carried themselves. It's truly an amazing. It's amazing. It's breathtaking, and it's such an amazing organization. And this country is lucky to have the U.S. Marines.
Sadly, Collin's dream was to be short-lived when on July 21st, 2023, Mother Kate, who he had no contact with since he was hospitalized, made an extensive post on Instagram where she claimed he had multiple psychiatric diagnoses, accused him of having a distorted perception of reality, and accused him of exhibiting unpredictable and violent behaviors.
This post went insanely viral. And in this post, my mother talks about how
Why would she do that to her baby? Like, okay. I don't know. I'm not trying to judge anybody here, but this is my commentary. Why would she do that? Why would she make a post about his? So this is my question. Maybe he possibly had some issues, and is that why he couldn't stay in the military? You know how powerful it is, and then when you hear your mom say that about you, it's even worse. Thank you for his service. Thank you for his service, Reagan. I don't know, y'all. Let's continue. Because I want to talk. Oh, they would have known before he went in because they would have did a psych eval, right? They would have did a psych eval. Thank you. Thanks for that. They do the whole health stuff. Thank you. You're right.
I have a large list of diagnoses. I couldn't defend these attacks. I didn't even know what was going on until my friend actually mailed me a picture of this. It got around and it raised a lot of questions. Things started to get looked through on Parris Island, and what was discovered was that I was in an institution, and from the side of things in the Marine Corps, they couldn't tell if these claims on social media were true about these diagnoses. They couldn't tell if they were true or not. That ultimately led to my discharge because I wasn't able to provide sufficient.
Are you kidding me? So you mean to tell me that Kate Gosselin made that post and allegedly that's what ended his military career when he was doing good? Oh my word. Oh no, man. Why would she do that? So, oh, Rajan said he's okay. Thank you, Rajan. Rajan, I don't know. Rajan, we'll be following this story.
Evidence that these were false until I got home, and that's when I sought out to get a professional.
Okay, it says, Dear Sergeant Bowles, I completed a comprehensive psychological evaluation today on Collin Gosselin as per your request for update. 2004. Oh, that's when he was little. I'm about to say he wasn't even, okay, got it. I'm about to say he wasn't even alive here. Okay. As per your request for wait a minute, 2000. Oh, that's his date of birth. I thought the letter was dated that way. I'm like, wait a minute now, this ain't adding up. Okay. I completed a comprehensive psychological evaluation today on Collin Gosselin as per your request for an updated diagnostic exam. I was provided with a copy of your letter dated September 29, 2023, asking for a professional determination to rule out his discharge diagnosis from Fairmount Behavioral Health, unspecified bipolar disorder, autism spectrum disorder, attention deficit, obsessive compulsive disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, and PTSD. I reviewed several documents. This was a reevaluation following the acknowledgement of prior medical history, mental health history, including multiple diagnoses, which were reported later discontinued upon reevaluation. The initial recommendation had been to return to training. Subsequently, there was a report that on occasion will let his emotions get the best of him. In one incident of pushing another recruit. Let's keep on going.
Psychiatric evaluation done. A full evaluation was completed, and the doctor states here, Collin Gosselin does not meet criteria for any of the diagnoses of concern in your evaluation request. And that request was from the Marine Corps. Nor do I see evidence to indicate any other psychiatric diagnoses or behavioral disorder in his current functioning. due to these allegations that she posted on social media, my dream of becoming a U.S. Marine was crushed. Now I have to fight and do everything I can to fulfill that dream still. And it's important for me, for her to come forward with the truth, because I want nothing more than to serve my country. You know, you think your mother's on your side of things, and I wish that things never went this way, and I wish I didn't have to come forward and put all this information out there, but this is very important to me. I'm constantly having to defend myself. I'm constantly having to state the record.
Fairmont Behavioral Health System, the mental health facility in Pennsylvania where Collin stayed, issued a statement to the U.S. Sun. While we cannot offer comment on specific patients or their care due to HIPAA patient privacy laws, I can share that at Fairmont Behavioral Health System, every day our staff strives to maintain a total therapeutic environment through individualized treatment for each patient. Comprehensive patient-oriented activities include group therapy, family therapy, allied therapy, and educational services. Patient care is overseen by a multidisciplinary team led by a team of psychiatrists. Attorney Richard Palaio, who represented Kate in past legal cases, said, "There's always two sides to every story, and when things take place in the past, it's hard to determine because people have differing recollections and perspectives. However, I can personally attest to this situation as I knew Kate and all 8 of her children since they were small, and I don't believe Kate ever did anything intentionally to harm Collin. I think she did whatever she did to protect herself and her family from some of his troubled behavior as a child. That's not to say he's got psychological impairment. I'm not a psychiatrist. However, I think if Kate did the things that Collin is accusing Kate of, she would have been investigated by the authorities and prosecuted. Additionally, I don't think the Marine Corps saw Kate's post and decided to throw Collin out. Could Kate's post have had some influence? Sure, I think it may have made them delve into Collin's history, but blaming his mother for being thrown out of the military is misplaced.
Whew, that's heavy. But I want to point out again, TLC, you be having the worst situations happening under y'all watch. I know you're not responsible for everything, but John and Kate, Little People, Big World, Mama, what's her name? Little Boo Boo, what's her name? Honey Boo Boo, Toddlers and Tiaras, the dang on people that had the 19 kids and counting. Y'all stay with this. It's just horrible. All right. So the scandals continue. So this is what Collin Gosselin had to say. He's been, I mean, I don't like, hey, that's what his side of the story. Kate refused to comment, which I find odd. Why you refuse to comment now when you commented on his mental health on your platform? I think you should have a rebuttal now. Let me see if she do. I might have missed it. Let me see. Did she say anything now? Let me go to her. Oh, sadly, that's the second. You go to Kate Gosselin Instagram. That's the second thing on her Instagram. Is, and then it's so sad. She's celebrating 4 of the sextuplets because let's go to it. Because the other 2 live with John. So this is her happy birthday. She got 4 right there. That cake is horrible. Did she make that cake? Oh, it's a pickle. The fact you don't include, oh wait, no, it's not a pickle. What did she say? It's a pickle. 20 years old. It's a pickle. I don't know what that means. Can somebody fill me in on what that means? I am confusion. This is that is the ugliest cake I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry. And I love homemade cakes if this is homemade. But what is that? So so she has 8, but the twins are older, right? And then she has these 4, but the other 2 went to John. And a family divided. A family divided. Basically, stay away from reality TV. So let's go back, because I was done with Little People Big World. Like, Amy and Matt, they were trash for how they just ignored Jacob Roloff saying that a TLC person like was touching on him and stuff when people weren't looking. Last thing, this reminded me of this story. Do y'all remember when that lady raised like millions of dollars telling everybody she was going to Asia to get a baby, and then all of a sudden she just act like the baby didn't exist, and then she kept on with her YouTube channel, and people were like, no, you had a whole baby. We sent you on your Amazon wish list. We sent you a baby carriage. You had a whole child, ma'am. Where's the baby? And this was the story. Let's go to that, because I think this is the problem when you have these huge families, and you think all the kids are gonna have the same personality. So I had a set of twins, and that was easy. So now I'm gonna have 6 kids, and all of them gonna be like the twins are. Everybody has a different personality. Ray just said I was a huge reality TV junkie until I got to Dalton. Well, you still a reality. This Dalton is definitely a reality show. Let's look a little bit of this. This was the story of the Stouffer family, and they made so much money as a family channel. And let's talk about it. She was like, they were like, "What the new baby at?" She was like, "Oh, he's been rehomed." Like, how does that work? But I understand if you can't do for a child. Believe me, if you cannot do for a child, don't try. Don't break yourself or the child. But it was just very interesting how they tried to slide this by us. This was cool. Hit the like button if you're here.
Author is facing backlash after revealing her adopted autistic son is now living with a new family.
The last couple months have been like the hardest thing I could have ever imagined.
The influencer is joined by husband James Stauffer as she tells her over 700,000 YouTube subscribers that their adopted son Huxley is no longer living with them. The couple struggles to hold back tears as they candidly detail their decision to rehome the toddler.
You know, with international adoption, sometimes there's unknowns and things that are not transparent on files and things like that. And once Huxley came home, there was a lot more special needs that we weren't aware of and that we were not told.
The pair adopted Huxley from China back in 2017, and in a blog written by Micah for The Bump, she explains that he was profoundly developmentally delayed. In addition to a brain cyst and brain tumor, Huxley was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder level 3 after returning to the States. But the decision to rehome is getting backlash, with some criticizing the couple for featuring Huxley prominently in their videos and social media in the years prior to moving him in with another family. Micah insists they tried to make it work.
There's not an ounce of our body that doesn't love Huxley with all of our being. There wasn't.
So they had got so much sponsorship deals and money and all that stuff because they did adopt this child from China and brought him on home. Then this is the part that they may leave up right here, but Micah got pregnant. She got pregnant after she had adopted, they had adopted Huxley. I think that had a big thing to do with it because she started to say how his behavior was affected, like all the kids would lay down and go to sleep, but now she had to worry about Huxley. It was really, hey Magnolia, Lana, everybody, it was really interesting. It was really interesting to see, but they tried to get over on YouTube. Remember, like they were sitting there showing the baby. They were showing the baby more than their own biological children. And all of a sudden the baby just disappeared. And people were like, hey, you can't trick me. You cannot trick me. It was really interesting.
A minute that I didn't try our hardest. Do I feel like a failure as a mom? Like 500%. So when you get like insidious, hurtful comments, it just like really makes it hurt worse.
And she insists Huxley is okay.
He is thriving. He is very happy. He's doing really well. And his new mommy has medical professional training, and it is a very good fit.
Let me tell you, we're going to be hearing from this baby that's what it reminded me of John and Kate children. We're going to hear about this baby. This baby going to be doing an interview in about 15 years. So,
TikToker Caleb Graves' final post.
Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you. You know, as much as we watch reality shows, 3 days to Sister Wives, I do find like it's really interesting. Like, I'm not trying to I'm not a doctor or anything like that. But even when we look at like the Brown children, look how they're all over the place. And I think some of it has to do with you having a camera shoved in your face 24/7, 7 days a week, all the time. I mean, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, a camera is in your face. And your parents really can't be the parents they want to be or need to be because they're so busy putting on content for us, the public. I'm interested to see Collin's story because so John wasn't around. Kate didn't Kate start dating her bodyguard or something? I know that sounds like some Whitney Houston stuff, but I think she started dating her bodyguard. So you mean it was just this baby downstairs, zip tied, and nobody helped him? You know, I'm not gonna lie, stranger things have happened. We see how weird people are, but this is really, really different. Really, really different. I appreciate you guys. Oh, that's how you got Milo. Who's Caleb Graves? I'm looking that up. So who's that? I feel like I know that name. Y'all know I'll be looking. Oh, I just saw that. Oh, he's a TikToker. He's a TikToker. I just saw this story. It's another story I want to talk about that's over on TikTok. The lady, y'all remember that lady I was saying we'll get to that, but he posts haunting final videos days before collapsing and dying at Disney. It's just horrible. It's horrible. He wasn't feeling good. He said, I didn't know what was going on. I hope I get through the race tomorrow. As soon as he crossed the finish line, he started grabbing his chest. Very sad story. Oh, Lana. Oh my goodness. That 8-passenger, Mom. What was that about? What was that about, Lana? He probably wasn't feeling good. And then you know how your body trying to tell you, and you go to the doctor, they say nothing's wrong. Poor child. Poor child. Oh, you guys, I'll be back with another video. I just want to share this Kate plus 8 news. I thought it was important because I still have never gotten over the Jacob Roloff situation for Little People Big World. And just to hear, just like all these other families that got these big returning the Amish, they was a mess. Everything going on in returning the Amish was suspicious. So TLC, get it together, you guys. As always, y'all take care of yourself and each other. See you at the next one.
Commentary blue, commentary, burgundy, commentary, comment blue, commentary, comment burgundy blue, commentary.